Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's Sagadal here. Today I was kind of interested in posting this video about installing something that would change the designs and themes to make the look pretty much simplified. Like, instead of being reliant on flat designs, we will go back to the old days where nothing is minimalistic. So back in 2024, someone had a great idea of developing and making an installer pack where Windows 10 will look a lot like Windows 7. But the thing is, it's not like we are going back to the old version of Windows on a modern things. No, and that's not what you think. So, like, instead of installing old operating systems on modern desktops and laptops, which can be risky by the way, there is a transformation pack installer which is right here, and it's called 21H2to7. And this was made by the author's name of Sword Queen. You can look at the Wikipedia and see the history. And if you want to know where I find this, you can simply find this on DeviantArt, aka the place full of degenerate shit, if you know the history about it. So before I get started, here's a question to ask. Does this impact performance after installing? Well, I think it may be, but if you're a guy with a low-end hardwares, it might have less chance of surviving. For me, I have a better laptop, which is okay without worrying. In any case, the creator behind the transformation pack recommended us to have the system restore turned on, so mine is already turned on. This is just before transformation in case if something is going to happen to the Air. And I may also close the background apps running, like this one and this one and this one, like Discord and all that. So let's get out of the screen and see the installation. Let's go. Alright, so after getting out of the screen, let's go ahead and click this executable files right here, pop up, and then it says here, let's just click yes, and here we get the screen, and there you go. So this looks like I'm about to install the actual version of Windows 7, but no, we are not installing the version of Windows 7. This is about transformation pack. And here, the terms and conditions, too long did not read. Alright, the preferred style, and what is this? Windows 7 Beta? Oh wait! This actually refers to the beta version of Windows 7. Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube. The icons and the wallpapers, RTM, I'm gonna leave it as it is. I think the RTM stands for retail version, but I'm gonna leave everything like this. Let's just click next. Alright, and especially the brandings. We have Windows 10, Windows 7 Professional, Windows 7 Ultimate. Yeah, I prefer Windows 7 Ultimate because it's looking really cool. And the ribbon, I'm gonna keep Windows 7. Let's just click next. Alright, so we are on the Start menu, and I'm gonna start explaining as much as I can and as best as I can. I'd rather choose Explorer 7 because I really wanted the games folder in here. So unlike the other selection like StartisBack++, this is a free trial, which means I'm not really interested in using this. Though that for Explorer 7, the creator of the transformation pack says that this is experimental, which means I could have some issues that they want us to not choose this, but it says experimental. If it's blue, it's experimental somehow. And it says use Windows 7 Explorer. Yeah, I'm gonna use the Windows 7 Explorer.exe, but it doesn't mean we are staying on Windows 10. Sorry, on Windows 7. We are staying on Windows 10. So it requires the disk version of Windows 7. So I'm just gonna click next. In the options, I'm not sure, it says remove chocolate, automatic, I'm not sure, I don't know what that is. The preferred Explorer, and I prefer this one because this is the most Windows 7 thing I wanted. Let's click next. And then we are ready to begin for the transformation. patch your system with this one right here, the gadgets, the stuff, and all of that. I'm gonna here, so this is the Microsoft Security Essential icons for Windows Defender, which means the icons will be replaced with the old version of Windows Defender. We scrapped shutdown sounds for Windows 7 soundscapes? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. And what is this? Microsoft Management MSC icons. Partially localized, this option only works on ENUS installs and requires the Windows 10 to 7 translation pack to work in other languages. Well, I think the creator added here the extra stuff. Maybe this. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna do that here once after the installation is installed. So I'm just gonna here check restore Windows 7 control panel pages. So this is like we are getting back to the old days of the control panel looking. And the control panel, this one here, remove control panel redirects to UWP settings. Oh, for yellow part it says somewhat broken, but I'm not sure if I'm really ready to do this because for some reason I'm just excited since this is my first time transforming the Windows 10 to look a lot like Windows 7, and now we're gonna go to Windows 7 network layout, fly out the legacy user control account control UAC, and then the Windows 7 login screen. Yeah, this is what I wanted, the accessibility tools. Alright, so everything is checked, although the creator did warn us about something that's broken, but I'm really prepared. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, this is gonna transform, this is gonna transform Windows 7. Oh, and I'm gonna have to go here. Oh, it's actually changing things. Oh my gosh, look at that. Alright, so in any cases, this is gonna change things a lot. Alright, so after a long run installation, I am so excited to see what does it look like. I'm gonna go here and press enter. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Alright, just as after entering inside the screen, the installation took about 50 minutes, which is closer to 1 hour, and it took about 5 gigabytes of files to have almost all the features installed. And yes, I changed my wallpaper, I added gadgets for fun, since I like these old school features. And this is a final moment for me. It's a full Windows 7 experience, and it's really good to be back on Frutiger Aero styles instead of being reliant on one of these flat color minimalist these days. So I'm gonna go to the start menu, and they look well, and then these things, the background apps around, this looks like Windows 7. The action center looks like Windows 7. The battery charge looks like Windows 7. The network layout looks like Windows 7, and then the sound looks like Windows 7, and then this one right here, the date and time, this looks like Windows 7. Well, that's cool. Now let's just check the version of Windows. I'm gonna type Windows key and R letter. And here's the WinVer type. And as you can see, we are still on Windows 10. You can see the 22H2, that is my version. I'm going to close that. And if I type Windows key and letter I, this is the Windows 10 settings. That's okay. One thing I checked is that the author wanted us to keep Windows 10 up to date from at least April 2024 updates, I would think. And luckily I have the system restore turned on in case if I may see something wrong. Now, other thing I noticed is that these folders, let me look at that, the folders, some of them looks like it's still in Windows 10 style and not 7, just some, but I would think the author could have been working on to change these folder icons, to be fair. But at that point, the gadgets are working good, especially the weather gadgets, which is my favorite. And then the games button, the games explorer, this is just what I needed. It's still here. Although some things are missing, like the multiplayer only games and the get board games for Microsoft. I'm talking about that one icon that was supposed to be above these default games, but that's fine. So the most important thing I have to ask is, will the games run well after installing Transform Pack? Sometimes if you still have the low-end PC hardwares, it might get bad performance, but I'm gonna get started and test these games since I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which it gives enough space to handle games well. So let's go ahead. My first take for an example is Pragmata, which is running just fine and perfectly fine, while the transformation pack is still holding up without common issue. This is still one of a demanding AAA games, and it still holds up pretty well from 60 to nearly 90 FPS. And this was recorded without turning on the frame generation on in order to showcase real frames instead of relying on with fake frames via typical artificial intelligence usage. As I am inside the building, I get a good and smooth experience from 70 to 80 FPS. When I went outside the building, I had dropped from 50 to 59 FPS due to environment and large buildings being loaded, and luckily I do have enough RAM to handle the performance. Maybe it's because of many background apps running, or probably let's just say my GPU is slightly struggling due to flimsy hardware limitation, which it is RTX 5060 and it holds 8 gigabytes of VRAM. I'd say this was a stupid choice for me since I realized this is a mid-range graphics card for my stupid mind. I set everything to ultra presets except the path tracing since I don't have enough VRAM, and that's a shame to make things even more delusional. However, when a cutscene appeared up, the gameplay went between 30 and 40 FPS, and that's below 50 and 60 frames per second. And then it came above 40 FPS, which I probably get another 60 to 70 FPS just almost right after the cutscene ended up. Unfortunately, we have to criticize the company for not making most of the gaming laptops being removable and upgradable, and it would have stayed the same thing without wanting a lot of money every day. Next up, The Sleeping Dogs. This is a limited edition, which means it's an original game from 2012 and not the definitive edition. I just get regular FPS, which is always the 1 FPS and such. I don't wonder why do I always show early 2010s games, since they are not a problem to modern hardware standards. But just so you know, classic games are very cool, and they don't make cool titles like this anymore. At least I should continue playing this considering the fact that I don't have to leave the story campaign unfinished for my experience. And lastly, the RPCS3 emulator runs an exclusive PS3 game, Resistance Fall of Man, released in late 2006 as a launch title. I locked to 105Hz under the V-Plank frequency settings, and I get between 40 and 54 FPS instead of being locked to 60 FPS. Okay, I should probably have chosen Metal Gear Solid 4, but the Master Collection Volume 2 was already shown to the public like months ago for modern hardware. I will wait for that until August 27, 2026, which is 7 days before the collection is released. And thankfully, I'm probably one of the lucky people who get to enjoy the old school style Aero glasses without wacky problems. But I'm not sure if I can stay on this operating system for so long, so in 3 to 5 years, most games would no longer run well on regular version of Windows 10, unless I would imagine someone better brain kernels and random environments from future modern specifics to last version of 22H2 build version, or even the previous one. I honestly wish something like that to happen one day. At least the LTSC version of Windows 10 have longer support until 2032, which is going to be 6 years of use. So after testing these games, I would say Pragmata reached between 30 to 40 FPS, probably caused by battery plan options, or maybe the 8 gigabytes of VRAM is pretty much limited for these demanding newer games. But luckily other games did ran well without any issues, especially the RPCS3 emulator and the Sleeping Dogs. In my opinion, to this conclusion, 21H2to7 is one of the best transformation pack installer, and it's a genius idea to bring back the old school aesthetics. It also takes me back when I had my first HP EliteBook laptop. I think it was 8540p model with old Intel Core i5 generation, and the GPU was NVIDIA Quadro FX 8800M. But they performed well when I played games from early 2000s to 2013 games, while the actual Windows 7 was still with me, except one game that did not perform well, and I would guess that's probably GTA 4. Yeah, it does not perform well on an old laptop like this, because I gotta tell you that the GPU and the laptop was released in January 2010, by the way. I used it from 2018 until 2023 when I replaced with newer laptop. And I am still a 17-year-old kid, by the way. I know, but I really like these Aero glasses, and it's good to be back with just transformation than sticking to an unsupported Windows version. Especially picking up the Explorer 7, because I find that an interesting option than StartisBack++. One more thing I wanted to mention about someone who is struggling. The creator behind Revert 8 Plus, which is another separate transformation pack installer, has said he is almost homeless and wanted for a donation, and I saw his photos discussing about his struggling in homelessness. So please give this guy a big respect and a big donation, and hopefully he will go back to work. Also, don't forget to give Amsword Queen a big respect as well. They are very good at making this possible pack installer. In that case, I will keep this Windows 7 looks as long as it doesn't harm my PC. Especially, there are no viruses in this last version of Windows 10. So I'm just gonna go to Windows 10 settings and go to System, or I'm just gonna click to the here and go to the one here, go in there, protection history, no virus. If there is 0 threats, that means no virus, which means I'm good to go. And with that transformation pack, all users, including me, should keep it up to date. But like I said, this is such a good idea, but the author reminded us that it isn't a 1-to-1 ratio of Windows 7 replica, though many things went almost perfect with this lovely view. As of right now, that's all I have said for. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to join my Discord server as well. See you later!